and we are back. And I am joined with an old friend. You may remember, I don't know how many years ago, Mike, but Mike Cunningham is here. He wrote a book about some of his dealings while he was in Vietnam, serving our country. It was called Walking Point, and it's a great book. But we're here to talk about something else this time. So tell us about the latest endeavor.
Well, from the book and everything, July 29th, 1968 is where we lost Staff Sergeant Oxia, and we've been fighting all those ensuing years to go back, and we finally did. We went back a few months ago to look for his remains, and we found a whole bunch of evidence and everything.
But that's a whole process. You don't just pick up one day and say, "Hey, I'm going back to Vietnam to go look for my buddy."
No, we had to do a lot of research and everything, maps and intelligence and everything. And finally, last fall, I got a call from the Army saying that with all the information that we provided them, that they thought a search was warranted. So I volunteered to go back with them back then, but they said no, they're professionals. But then about a month later, they called me and asked me if I'd join them because I was actually on site when we lost them, Staff Sergeant Oxia. So, yeah, I had to go through all sorts of physicals before, and all shots and everything. And then finally, it was time to go, and we went.
And so, would you go from like here to Hawaii, and then?
Well, left from Boston to Hawaii. Spent 2 days in Hawaii doing more research and intelligence work. And then from there we went to Japan and then to Da Nang. And we all got together there, the team, and this team right here. And we got together and went out into the jungles and looking. And
so what was it like when you came upon that hill? It was on a hill, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was obviously spine tingling. I actually identified my foxhole from 49 years ago. Jeez. I mean, that's the foxhole I fought from, but found the bomb crater. There a 500-pound bomb blew up in our face. I mean, it was a command detonated bomb. And so found the bomb crater, and we found also a helicopter was just landing when they blew the bomb. So we found parts of the helicopter.
So help me out on the bomb. Was the bomb like planted there or something? So like a mine, but not like a mine that got triggered. They electronically or something?
Yeah, it was command detonated. What they did, it was an American 500-pound bomb that they found. It was dropped but didn't detonate.
Okay.
So they recovered it, and then we had been on this hill before, and they were hoping that we were going to come back up on the hill, and so what they did, they buried the bomb like a couple of feet under from the surface, and they covered up. But they packed the nose with C4, an explosive, and then they ran a wire from there into the jungles.
Okay.
And so that's why it was a command detonated bomb. And just when the chopper was landing, that's when they blew it, okay? And that's when it blew the chopper up and killed a whole bunch of ice guys.
So you wrote a story about it that was picked up by a magazine.
Right.
So I had the fortune of reading it, and after I was reading it, I said to myself, we're not going to be able to do justice to this story on this short segment, so I'm going to ask you to come back, and we'll delve into it deeper. But I do want to, while you're here today, like one of the most poignant parts of the story is you actually met the guy who detonated it. So tell me about that.
Well, it's this gentleman right here. He's when we went up to the hill, we were doing our search and everything, and he was there. I didn't know who he was. There was a lot of Vietnamese there helping us. I didn't know who this gentleman was, but and then I started figured out, and I asked the team I was with, and they said but they weren't going to tell me because they thought I was going to go cuckoo on them, but no, he was the nicest guy in the world. We shook hands, we hugged, we cried together, and I actually gave him my hat, my unit hat, and he put it on and made sure it was squared away.
So when you were there, you didn't actually find the remains on this trip,
No, no.
but you found. Well, tell me what you found.
We know where Staff Sergeant Oxier is now. We know the quadrant of the hill. So we have to go back now and excavate, actually dig up the hill. There's going to be a whole team. We're going to set up right up on the hill. And they figured they allot 30 days to do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
but you told me something today, like you were hoping to go back, but you actually found out today, yesterday?
Yesterday,
Yesterday.
They just told me that they went through all the evidence and we have a green light. We're going back. It's just a now. When are we going back?
Sure, and then they have to, they still got to work these things out with the Vietnamese government.
The Vietnamese government, absolutely, because and that's understandable, because it's just like if someone was doing something, if Germany was coming
Sure.
here to America and said,
Yeah.
"Well, we want to rip apart Blue Hills,"
Right.
well, wait a minute,
Yeah.
no, you just don't do that, and so but the Vietnamese government, they've been more than accommodating. They want us to find them. Yeah.
Great. Now, can you still get Walking Point?
Yeah. Well, all my books are on Amazon. It's Walking Point, and I wrote another book about Vietnam, and then 3 books about customs. And
I remember the customs. That was the other thing we did. Customs. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, so you have to come back.
I will.
All right, and I'm saving a lot of my questions because I want to elicit more than like the few minutes that we have here. So, so in the meantime, we're going to take a look. NPA TV covered the spooktacular Trunk or Treat event held in Norwood recently, and let's check it out.